I get a call from Josh, a connection that I made at the EP forum, right? He says, hey, I got a client. I need somebody for 2 days. Take care of him. I'm like, okay, no problem. We finished the first busy itinerary. I think in the 2 days, I racked up 37 hours just in 2 days of work, all by myself, nobody else. I was the driver, the advanced guy, the security guard. As we're finishing the last day, they're talking about themselves. And then Steve goes to the other gentleman and say, oh, this is Mark Pagan. He works for us. And I told my boss, hey, this is who I have on the truck. He was very happy. He was asking me, hey, make sure everything goes well, because this is who's giving us the work, here in New York. 2 days of work, 37 hours of work. Yeah. At the end of the night, the client tells me, hey, wait for me, don't go anywhere. So I'm like, okay, waiting for him to come down. Yes, sir. He comes out, he said, hey, I appreciate all the hard work. So he hands me an envelope. Right, thank you, sir. He said, hey, next time I'm in New York, I'm gonna call Josh, and you're my guy in New York. I take off, I go around the block. I'm like, man, I gotta see what's inside this fucking envelope. So I opened it, and then the envelope, guess how much money was inside for 2 days of work? Take a guess. For 2 days of work.
$200. No, $2,000.
Maybe $2,000.
$1,000, $1,000.
Okay.
Cash.
Any advice for these guys going through the course right now? It's going to be here. What would you say to them?
It's don't let this the last time that you do any training with Byron or Rick or his staff. You're gonna get your money back. I would say for me, after I finished Byron's course, I made that money back within, I would say 22 days. I already made that back. You know what I mean? Just working, not including tips, just working. And not every client tips. Most of them don't even tip. But when you get a good one and you treat them right, and they have not been treated like that before, they latch onto you. And now in New York, we say, if in New York, if somebody says, that's my guy, that means you're in.
Talk a little bit about how that helped your career, man. When I was like, yo, trust me, just come do this. Tell me how that worked out for you, brother.
Big time, man. I'm signed on with 7 companies now. So it's like whoever called first, that's who whoever called first, whoever paying the most. So once I get this one, I get like a 3-4 day break, then I'm off to Cali for 6 days. So.
I told you they were gonna eat you alive. You're gonna be more busier than you can handle, and now here we are, man. How long has it been since you came through this course?
September. Yeah.
So from September to now, you've seen a big change in your workflow and getting into the industry and all that.
Oh yeah, it was September when I went to the course. December was the Code Protection Conference, and then pretty much January is when everything blew up.
Yep, 100%, man.
I definitely wanted to, I guess I just got into this industry, I think October I took your level 1 training. November, I was watching your videos online. I was like, oh man, it looks like crazy shit. I don't know if I'm good for that. It looks like you guys do a lot of hard work there. And so I kept watching videos. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna sign up. I'm gonna go see what's up with this. And it was good. It was crazy good. I had a lot of fun. Everybody in our group was legit. And after that, in December, you had the conference. I was actually only going to go to the EP forum because the conference, I didn't really know much about it. I was kind of like, whatever. I talked to you and you're like, no, bro, you need to go to the conference, like legit. So right away, I was like, all right, I'm going to take his word. Everything you speak is golden. So whatever you tell me to do, I'm doing it. No questions asked. So bought the tickets, got hooked up at the party that you had after. Yep. Met a bunch of great people. I met Dustin there. That's how I got hooked up with the UFC gigs. So all great work. And I'm just getting in. Realistically, my first gig was I had one thing with you in December, and then everything picked up in January. So I'm only really like 2 months in, and work is pretty steady. I'm not even like hitting up the other 3 companies that I'm signed up with right now. Literally no complaints. And to add on to what Mark was saying, where people are going to hunt you down and say, you know what, you're my guy here. the reason for that, unfortunately, in this industry, I've learned very quickly, there's no standard. And so you have people all over the place. You have people with lack of training, wrong training, bad attitudes. And so being part of the league, that's where we're building the standard in the industry. And so everybody who has the league behind them branded, you're going to learn how to set the standard, and people are going to see you right away, and that's going to stand out to them, and they're going to want you on their details. And so being part of this community is huge for everybody here.
Man, life is good. Just, waiting for dates. You know how it is. Tour season is getting ready to pop off. So we've got the schedule, just waiting to see when I jump. And then it'll be, it's going to be, what I found out now, we're doing Thursday through Sunday. Because this new artist has a plane. So I was like, I like that. That way I'm not gone. Thursday, back home Sunday, and then I've got days to kick it. So.
How long did it take you after you got in with us to start seeing work come through and all this stuff?
Maybe 3 months. It was like November to, I think I got it November and I was done December-ish or something. And I think literally I was on tour in May. And what I tell people, and this true story, my first time at an FBO, I literally memorized what he said in training day when I walked up to the FBO. And I was a cocky SOB. I just walked in and was like, boom, 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 and it went just like he said. And I remember sitting there laughing, going, "It's easy." And I was like, man, I had access to the tarmac and cars up. I mean, I was like the man. I'm like, it's easy.
If you got the cheat codes, baby, you got the cheat codes.
And then I've said this from every call I've been on. One thing that is invaluable is there was times when I was on the road and I was able to hit Byron up and go, "Hey man, I got a question," and you can't put a price on that, And it was something as simple as it was how much to cake up the manager, the security director, and he was like, "Well, this is what I do. I do this amount and this amount." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Just that little bit of information right there set me at ease. I was like, okay, I got this, because I had X amount of dollars, and I was able to go in confidently and not look like the rookie that I was, but I really wasn't, because somebody had already put me up on game. That's what we used to say in the back in the day, right? Emulation on game, and that's exactly what happened. If you guys are on the fence, if you're thinking about it, I'm telling you, if you put it to work, follow the steps, it's not like an infomercial, man. It works.
I will tell you guys, whatever you do, just stay focused on the plan that you guys absorb with each other. That's what it's really all about. That's what I've learned, is just to stay with the plan. On top of that, I'll tell you, being in the hard skills for me was definitely something that changed my whole ordeal in life. And it really, really showed me how to advance and, speak to people even in the levels where I'm at right now. And I try to talk to people with a level head, man. This is empowering for me.
Just a little short story. I finished your training day course last month, and I still have to send you some more information in regards to my whatever. But long story short, a company that I work for doing driving, I sent him my certification that I got taking the course. And so another gentleman that he had that was supposed to do a detail with a U.S. congressman got stuck in bad weather. What had happened, he saw that I was certified, and he said, "Listen," he goes, "Do you want this detail?" And I said, "Absolutely." I meet the congressman's driver. He gives me the itinerary of the day. And you know what? I was on point with everything. The doors, holding various items for him, it worked out extremely smoothly. At the end of the night, or just about before the night ends, he goes, "Listen, we have to go to Gracie Mansion and see the mayor of New York City." It was like, listen, just from a certification that I got, people are recognizing this, and then they're calling me and saying, "Hey, listen, do you want to do this detail with a congressman?" And I'm going to the mayor's office, hanging out at the mayor's office. The training day was a phenomenal package. I would recommend that to anyone that is interested in EP work. Obviously, at some point, I will make it out to do the hard skills, but time and time again, soft skills, guys, that's where it's at. I mean, as Byron says, soft skills get you paid and paid and paid. And the hard skills, if you have to use them, will save someone's life.
Well, just want to motivate everybody real quick. Yes, I did. I sold my truck to take the class, but it was worth it. The work hasn't stopped. I have repeated this. I learned so much. Work hasn't stopped. I have worked with different things. I was at the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna say names, but I was with the winning team. And other stuff. With politics, everything, shows, some hassle stuff by the border. Right now, I was doing limo driving too, but that stopped and some stuff slowed down. Yeah. So I started managing security companies. I went back to where I was, but in a higher level, I'm seeing a potential that I have that I didn't even know I had. And it all comes from the classes. And I'm telling you how I to start the class. Yeah, it was a decision. I was like, I love this truck, but I need this class. I believe in Byron. I've been following him for years. So I was really motivated, I knew it was gonna be good for me, and it happened. It's good,
That means the world, man. That means the world.
Yeah.
Byron, thank you for all your tutelage. The level 1, level 3 hard skills class have been a godsend for me, and it's connected me with a lot of people. I've turned down more work than I've taken. You know what's going on with me.
100%.
Last gig your skills are transferable anywhere, guys. I applied for triple canopy to work with the State Department. They said, you got everything we want. You got the recent training, you got the hard skills, you got the background we want, come on over. And I just said, okay, cool. And then I had a hitch in my giddy up. The nation of Iraq wants you to have this shot. And I'm like, we're out.
It's such an honor to be able to do this with all of you. We are building a brotherhood. We are building a network of good people.